Okay. Oop. There we go. Sort of ready, kind of. All right. So, hello. And let me fix this because this is not. There we go. Because it was kind of too close to my face. I didn't think I would ever be wearing these on my glasses, my little peepers. That's fun because I keep losing my glasses and I can't see. So now I got to wear these. So, but anywho, this is, hold on. Let me just turn this volume up. Yeah, so like I mentioned, well, welcome. Happy Thursday. Like I mentioned, Sunday, 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 that I was moving Pure Shes- bleh, moving Pure Sessions to Thursdays because one, I really wasn't wait a minute. Um hmm, sorry, this pop-up came up and I can't move it. But yeah, I moved to Thursdays, Pure Sessions, to Thursdays, because I really wasn't really comfortable. Not comfortable. I really wasn't like wanting my whole Sundays taken up by the show because, like I said, it's not just doing the show live. It's doing the show live on Instagram, doing the show live on YouTube, then editing, re-editing, posting, um, then downloading, then saving. It was just a lot. It took up maybe 3-4 hours. Not that I don't mind doing the work, but I don't know. I just felt like with Sunday, I mean, I try to, not work on Sundays because it's the Lord's Day of rest and things like that. And also with me trying to build the network or reach out my network and build the brand, I kind of felt that the feedback or the viewers, I should say, wasn't as high as it should be now where I am versus where I was before. Like, I feel like obviously things take time, but I don't know. I just felt like, because since I've been working with having a branding social media coach, that I guess like the peak hours, the peak days are like Monday through Thursday, right? During this time. And I guess Sunday is kind of more so like a wind down day. I didn't know this because, like I said, I'm still learning this, but that's what he told me. So I figure I'll give like a little trial run and do it on a Thursday for like the first 2 weeks and see if I get the feedback and things like that, the good feedback and things like that, and see if it works. So that's why I'm here on a Thursday. But yeah, so that's just what that I mentioned it last week, and I'm going to mention it again. Um, on this episode, and then post it on my page because a lot of people still thought that I was doing it on Sundays, but I was like, no, just this Thursday. So Thursdays, Pure Sessions, 8 o'clock. Hi, Lana. And also on Wednesdays, I mentioned too, on Sunday that I was starting to do my sax jam sessions. So what that entails is it's exciting. I didn't do it yesterday because officially I was going to do like a first episode type of thing on Friday on live just to see how it goes. Because it's my first time, I guess, actually playing outside of my room and having people listen to me and judge. So, what really it is, it's just like an hour, maybe 40 minutes of me playing some of the songs that I've learned that I've taught myself how to play, and as well as being able to read the music and show some breathing techniques and things like that. So, we'll see how that goes on Friday. It's June 11th at 6 on Instagram Live and YouTube. And if it goes well, I'll try to make it like a regular thing. Just trying to do, um, different things in this time now that things are slowly kind of opening back up and what have you. Just it passes the time. So that's what that. So I didn't do it yesterday, but the first, I guess, episode or jam session in a way will be June 11th, Friday at 6 p.m. live on my Instagram, Lana and Pure. Not Lana and Pure's Corner, but Lana and Pure and YouTube, and Pure. And then we'll see how that goes. And then after that will be every Wednesday at 8. So Wednesday at 8, the jam sessions, Thursday at 8, Pure session. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now, sorry, this thing is not recording. Hopefully this is recording. Sorry, technical difficulties. Yeah, so this is episode 38, I want to say. I never know what episode it is, but I think this is 38. And this is still not recording. It's still not recording. Well, maybe it'll work later on. But yeah, this is episode 38. So I do the live on Lana Pure's Corner on Instagram, and I do the live on YouTube at Lana Pure, and as well as I have the audio version, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, what else? Pocket Tune, Google Play, all the places you listen to your podcasts. And with Anchor, like I mentioned, it does the work technically for you. So I record the episodes, and then Anchor kind of distributes everywhere so everybody can hear it at once versus me going on different platforms and doing it every week. So that's with that. But yeah, this is episode 38. So going forward after today, it will be every Thursday for Pure Sessions and every Wednesday for the jam session. And 8 o'clock, not Sundays at 6. No more Sundays, just Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'll be kind of more proactive on Instagram and things like that and YouTube. And for what else? Yeah, and for the jam session, it's gonna be on Lana Pure's page, not Lana Pure's Corner. I figured that would be better to keep the things separate, What else? What else? Oh yes, the new album, Time to Remember, came out Friday. Yes, Friday. There we go. Came out last Friday. It's about 12 songs. Like I said, it's not as long as the other one, which was 28 songs. This is only 12 songs, and this genre or this vibe more so is kind of like electronic dance type music versus like that chill hop neo vibe I was trying to go for, R&B type thing. So it was fun. It's exciting. Some other things coming in the works, but that definitely is out. So you can definitely tune that, stream that, and tune into that on Apple and Spotify, YouTube, everywhere you listen to music and things like that. But yeah, so I'll try to, I know it's Thursday night, I know it's later than I normally do it, but I'll try not to make, I always say this, but I'll try not to make the episode too long, because like I said, it is in the evening, the way, like I'm the old grandma, but I know people don't want to hear somebody talk for like an hour and a half because it gets boring after a while. But yes, so this is episode 38, Pure Sessions. And last week was Restart. And before I mentioned I was going to either title the episode Restart or What's Changed. And I kind of did a restart because it's been a long, long year and still is long. And I talked about, regrouping, reflecting, resting, recharging, things like that. Everybody I feel like needs or should do that from time to time because you're never busy and you're going, and you never stop, just to like breathe and take a minute. Sometimes the days and the weeks and months just go pass you by and things like that. So for this episode, it's titled Leaving a Legacy. And I know I mentioned the episode I had my mom on for the nonprofit. It was kind of the same thing, but this is more so not just focused on, leaving a legacy for nonprofits and things like that. This is more so, for you, the entrepreneur, the young person, the millennial, the older person, whatever you want to call it, for the future, leaving a legacy, for the future, as well as, leaving your mark. Like what you want to leave on your mark. Like when people look you up in the history books or people talk about you from years from now, what is it that you want them to say? What is it that you wanted to, have accomplished, and people want to be like you when you grow up? You know what I mean? Like sometimes we say we want to be a musician, or say we want to sing, or say we want to dance, or say we want to travel, but we just keep talking about it and things get in the way, life, bills, time, money, excuses, and things like that. But when we actually, you know, not sounds cliche, set your mind to it and do it, but when we actually just focus on it, focus on doing this thing, focus on accomplishing this thing, some things do come out of it. That's what I mentioned last week towards the end of the episode. I was saying sometimes you just have to just block out the noise. You just have to just step away from people or situations and things like that and just focus on yourself, your happiness, your well-being. Because like I mentioned last week, we're so busy, and I've been guilty of it, giving and giving and giving and not taking the time to do things that A, matter to us, but B, you know, what is it, like move us along. Like if we're in the same position we were, not financially or relationship wise or whatever, but if we're in the same point of our life from a year from now? Really, what have we done? Nothing wrong with things taking time, because things do take time, but what is it that we're, doing to get past that hurdle? If that makes sense. Like, if you, like I said, if you want to be, say, a famous singer, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, a lot of practice and practice and practice to even get looked at or thought of, because the world today is just so cutthroat. But if we're just saying we want to do it and we're not really going to shows, promoting it on Instagram, reaching out to people, trying to network, then really, who, at the end of the day, who can really get mad at, if we're not really, not putting the effort in, but actually putting the work and time into it? Because fortunately, things don't just come so easy for us and to us. Some things, 90% of the things, they do take time to perfect and do take time to accomplish. And I wish it wasn't that complicated. Like when I mentioned with the saxophone, I wish I knew instantly how to play. I wish I knew instantly how to read music, but I've had it for a month, I think, a month and some change, and still every day I feel like I'm missing a note. I feel like I'm not further along where I should be. But from when I was playing the trumpet, I kind of like gave up on that a little too quickly. So that's why I've been like pushing myself to stick with playing the saxophone for more than a minute. And with the trumpet, I noticed um that it was a little bit harder because it is a lot of breath. And was it a brass instrument or woodwind? I'm not really sure, so don't quote me. It was a lot of work because I didn't really know how to really, like I said, read the music. I still don't now, but I do know how to play certain songs, and that's why I wanted to do the jam session, sax session thing, because the videos I watch, tutorials I watch, I'm watching people who are either A, in my position, or B, very experienced musicians and artists. I feel like I can contribute a little bit to society, or contribute my little knowledge of these few songs that I know, and these few notes that I know, for somebody who was in, who was in my position in the beginning. Like, it took me it didn't take me as long as I thought it would with the saxophone to learn how to read music, but with the trumpet, for some reason, it was just extra. Like I mentioned before, when I would be playing the drums or the piano or the guitar or the flute or the clarinet and things like that, even in org and choir and band, I never knew how to read music. I would kind of, like I said, I would just play by ear, and that's the whole beauty of what I'm trying to do with the sax jam session. Is it's okay to not be able to read music, and you can still rock out. It's okay that if it takes you a little bit longer to get this note or to get this chord or to play this song versus somebody else who's experienced or just is gifted like that. We're all gifted, you know, in different ways, shapes, and forms. It may not just be like a, I don't want to say like a born gift, because I feel like everybody who's born has some special gift, whether they know in the beginning or know it later in life. But we, everybody can learn what everybody else knows. If that makes sense. Like, if you want to be a famous singer like Beyonce, or who else, Janet Jackson or Patti LaBelle, then it does take the time and effort and work to get there. But if you, like I said, don't, like, you want to do, but you just want to do for show. Like, by that I mean, like, if you want to be selling at concerts and be famous on Instagram and famous in the world and have money and cars and clout and things like that, but you're just talking about it, what are you really doing really to move you further along with the needle? Like I said, if you're talented and you're gifted and everything just comes easy to you, then that's okay. It's a different situation. But if you're like 90% of the people in the world, you need to actually, work for what you want to do and work for what you're trying to accomplish. And if you're okay with just being, where you are, that's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be not stagnant, but it's okay to be comfortable. Because like I mentioned before, nobody wants to be comfortable or doing something uncomfortable. But sometimes we put in a box being uncomfortable with not wanting to do the work, like feel as if we're being forced to do something because people see the potential in us that we can't see in ourselves. Like, we all have the potential to be great. We all have the potential to do something that's better and bigger than ourselves. But sometimes we equate being comfortable with lazy and being comfortable with being stagnant and being comfortable with not wanting to do the work. But I feel as if once you once you push past that barrier, once you get past that weird feeling of, ugh, I really don't want to do this, because if I do this, it might offend some people. As I mentioned last week, it's okay to offend people, not in a rude or disrespectful way. But some people think if you're not talking to them, or you've grown distant, or you're quiet, or you're making moves down this way versus the way they want you to go, then you're bougie, or you're stuck up, or you've changed. And that's the biggest thing I've heard people say. Oh, when you're doing good for yourself, or you're doing these things, and you've changed. But it's not that you've changed, you just evolved and grown. We all can't stay, or nobody wants to stay stagnant or stay in the same situation if they don't have to. Not as a choice, but you want to get better. Everybody wants to get better and grow and learn and strive and be the best they can be. Nobody wants to just be like here, where you can just be all over the place. And I feel sometimes people feel as if you're doing better than them, or if you're moving up in the world essentially, and you, like I said last week, and you came from the same spot, they think, oh, you just forgot about us and you think you're better than us. It's not that we're thinking that we're better than the next person. It's just we want better for ourselves, our family, our friends, the future generation, because it's really what it's all about, the next generation. Not that our generation is screwed, we just got a lot of stuff going on, but it's more so there has to be more to this world, than just this. You know what I mean? Like if you want to leave a legacy, like you've heard that term before. That's why I titled this episode that. If you want to leave a legacy for yourself, for your family, for the future, for the next generations, and what is it that you're doing to do that? It doesn't just happen like a meter. I can't even talk. Uh, a meet, not a meter. Meteoroid. Sorry, I can't talk. Coming out of the sky, and then poof, you just left a legacy, and you're rich, and you have all these awards and acclamations and things like that. No, unfortunately, it doesn't. We have to work for the things we want. If you want that better house, if you want that bigger house, if you want a house, better yet, save, get the right job, save, invest, be around the right people, etc., etc. If you want to move out, save, do the right things, get that job, blah blah blah. If you want to, like I said, say if you want to be a musician, like if you want to be an artist, like a singer or a rapper or play an instrument, then what are you doing to get you in front of the right people? Because nowadays that's really what it's all about, networking and knowing the right people, knowing who you know. Before, it used to just be, what's on paper, your accomplishments, your experiences, et cetera, et cetera. It is, but more so truly about who you know, and who you surround yourself with and who they know, because you never know who the person you're talking to might know. Or better yet, you never know that, say, that open mic night you're at, who's in that crowd. It may not be the person right in front of you that can get you to the next level, but it could be somebody they know. And once they see the talent that you have, or once they see that because I feel like, if like for me, like for my thing, since I couldn't read music, I would just play by ear. But I wanted to do something that was bigger than myself. You know what I mean? Like, since I struggled a lot with not being able to read music, or follow the notes the right way. I was always a step or two behind and things like that. And that's why I played different instruments to see if I can find my niche, whether it be with the guitar or drums or the piano. But after a while, I would get frustrated, like anything, because I'm like, this is not working. I'm not getting it. And this is outside of like being in school and choir and things like that. But it's more so like, if you want to do something that requires work, you have to actually do the work. Like, granted, I didn't want to spend hours and hours and hours reading the same notes and reading the same songs over and over again. But it's not like I'm perfect with the songs that I know. It's more so that I enjoy it. That's really what it's all about. Like with the music and podcasts and things like that, I enjoy what I'm doing, and I feel like if you enjoy something, like it's your actual passion, like an actual passion, not just like you're saying you enjoy something just because it's a Tuesday, but like if you actually enjoy doing something. For me, in my opinion, in my experience, I've noticed that the energy, the vibes, and the love for whatever the craft that you're doing kind of shows through it, and kind of less um makes it more manageable. That makes sense, because it's been some days where in the beginning, when I was playing the saxophone and even the trumpet, I'm like, I don't even understand this instrument. Why is it so hard? And it's like three little notes and I just don't get it. But a month and some change later, I know how to play about like 6 7 songs, all different genres obviously, but it's just fun. It's exciting. Like, I literally enjoy waking up playing the going to go play the saxophone. Like, I literally enjoy setting it up and cleaning it and picking out my music and going here and there and practicing for hours and hours on end, versus oh, I gotta do this now. It's a chore. It's gonna take time. I don't understand it. What's the point? Because nobody's listening to it. Nobody sees it. Nobody hears it. But it's like if you enjoy doing what you enjoy doing, then really it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter who hears or who doesn't hear it, but it's more so like it doesn't. As long as you're happy doing what you enjoy doing, that's really all that matters. Like if you enjoy writing poetry and performing poetry, and that's your thing, then you do that. Do it to the best of your ability, but don't just do it half-ass because other people don't understand your drive behind it, or as they like to say, your hobby behind it. If it's a passion, or if it's something that you can see yourself doing, long term, then I don't really think it's a hobby. I think it's more so something that you enjoy doing because it brings you joy, brings other people joy, brings people together, it heals people. It's a beautiful thing. And I feel like sometimes when we listen to people, not negative people, but like negative Sallies, as they say, coming into our space, coming into our aura and trying to discourage us because they don't understand it, then I feel like we just need to block out that noise because what they don't understand shouldn't dictate what you know how to do and what you enjoy doing. Like if you listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, then you'll never get anywhere in life. You'll never get past where you are right now. You'll never see what's out there. You'll never see what your talent can bring because whether you're playing in an arena or playing an open mic night or just playing on YouTube, somebody there, somebody somewhere is listening to it and receiving your message, whatever it is. If you're a preacher, if you do art, if you do graphic design, if you do social media networking, if you're a singer, if you're a dancer, even if you're doing like knitting, somebody somewhere will enjoy that because it brings them joy just as much as it brings you joy. So with leaving a legacy, it may seem broad, it may seem like a huge word, but when you want to leave something that's better for the next generation, what is that? Like what's that thing? What's that thing that drives you to work and grind every day? What's that thing that brings you joy whenever you look at it or you're doing it? Like, what's that thing that you say, if anything was everything or if nothing was nothing, I could do this thing, I could do this activity, I could do this, whatever it is for the rest of my life. Like, what is that? What is that thing? And sometimes we need to try. Nothing wrong with it, trying different things. You could start out being a painter, or you can start out writing books. You can start out sewing. You can start out doing graphic design. You could start out doing video gaming and end up having like a hotel and being a chef in it. Like wherever your journey leads you to at the end of the day, whatever brings you joy above everything else, that's really what matters. You could end up one way, like I said, I ended up I started out wanting to do fashion and being a personal stylist. And I'm way over here in the scale and doing a podcast and playing the saxophone. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would play an instrument because, like I said, I just didn't feel like I was not worthy of being able to play it, but just like I wouldn't have the patience or nobody would listen to me. Like nobody would want to hear me because I'm just like a regular person. But I can't tell you how much joy it brings me every day to play this instrument for hours on end. And some days I may only do an hour because sometimes, you can just when you click with something, like whether it's music or writing or creating something or you're in a creative space. And sometimes you just feel like you're like pushing yourself to do it, like it's just not meshing. Sometimes that will happen. Sometimes I'll be playing for like say an hour and some change, then the notes aren't hitting the right notes, or I'm not really like vibing out to it, or it's just not clicking. Then I'll put it down and come back to it in 2, 3 hours. Like right now, I have it over here on my bed. And it's been open for an hour and some change, and I'll go back to it from time to time because the last thing you want to do is force something that's like your passion. It's force something that brings you joy. It's force something that shouldn't be forced because you're just doing too much at the time. Like there's always a time and place for everything. You can play for hours and hours on end, but if it's not clicking and you don't feel like that joy when you're doing it for that time being, that it isn't your passion. But just at that time, maybe you need to just step away and come back. Like you've heard of writer's block, you've heard of musician block, you've heard of, you need to take a break from doing whatever it is and then come back to it so you have a fresh eyes and fresh mind on something. Because if you're just doing something constantly and not taking a break and not just relaxing your mind, your spirit, and your aura, then things can come out a little flaky. You know what I mean? So that's what I say when it comes to wanting to do a passion, wanting to work, because that's what it is about. are you willing to put the work in? Are you willing to put the effort in? Are you willing to put the time into doing this thing, to honing your craft and toning your craft and getting better and stronger? Because practice. That's really what it comes down to, whatever it is. If you're a chef, if you're a musician, if you're a singer, if you're a dancer, if you're a DJ, if you do sales, everything comes with practice. Because like I said, unless you have that gift or you have that what is it, niche for that thing, some things take a little bit longer than other things, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just means or proves that no, is it? It just means that or proves that you have the ability to accomplish this thing, and are you willing to do it? Like, are you willing to put the time? Because so many times we want to do all these things, and then we see how much work goes with it. We don't want to do it. We just say, "Oh yeah, this is the thing I want to do. I want to be an artist. I want to be a painter." Everybody wants to be an artist, but like, what are you doing about it? Are you just saying you're an artist, but are you actually, like I said, not now because of COVID, but let's say before COVID, were you going to shows? Were you handing out cards? Were you handing out demos? Were you on Instagram? Were you on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that other stuff? YouTube? Were you out there? Not selling yourself, but were you out there selling your crafts? People can see it because nobody will hear what you have to say if you're just doing it, behind closed doors. Now, if you just like to do this for fun and that brings you joy, then that's fine too. But if you want to go to, what is it, go to like the next level, go to the next step, then what are you doing to get you there? And I feel like when you leave, if you want to leave a legacy, or maybe if you want to leave a mark, maybe legacy is too much of a big huge word, but you should want to fight and strive and jump to the highest of highest. You should want to reach that highest goal. You shouldn't just settle for anything. You know what I mean? You should want to be leaving a legacy for the next generation. You should want to leave your mark for the next generation or even the current generation while we're here. Like what is it that you want people to talk about you when you're gone? That's really what it comes down to. Not trying to sound morbid, but like, what is it that you want people to say when they talk about you? What is it that they want people to see when they talk about you? What is it that you want people to know about you? About you. If you want to just be not regular, but if you want to just be doing the 9 to 5, punching in the clock, coming home, doing the regular things, not really doing much, that's fine too. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want to branch out, if you want to set goals for yourself and others, if you want to be that person that people look up to and want to follow you and gravitate towards you because they see the growth, they see the stride, they see the work, they see the time and effort you put into things. And okay, what are you going to do to get you there? Because like I said, everybody can say words, but it really comes down to the actions and the things that you're doing following those words. And there's a lot of smooth talkers out there. There's a lot of people who just do things just to be doing things or just are in the cloud. But what is it, what things bring you joy? You know what I mean? Like, what things bring you happiness? What is it that you want your legacy to be? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that you want people to see and say about you? Because 9 times out of 10, we want so much, but we'll do so little for it. You want the money, you want the cars, you want the travel, you want the time, you want the girl, you want the guy, you want the jewels, you want whatever. But like, what are you willing to do to get you there? How much effort, how much work, how much time, how much blood, sweat, and tears are you willing to do to get you there? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to just be on the outside looking in, then that's fine. But if you want to be the trendsetter, you want to be the leader, you want to be the person people look up to, younger generations as well, then what is it that you're going to do to get you there? Because nothing can happen overnight, unfortunately. It's going to take time for you to get to where you need to be. And sometimes you may have to do a little bit more work than you would like to. So, what is it that you think is your niche? What is it that you think will be your thing, that will be, you will be the trendsetter on, whether it's clothes, whether it's books, movies, art critic, food critic, scientist, biologist, what is it that brings you that joy that you think you can be doing for the rest of your life and be okay with that because you did the enough amount of work that you're satisfied with at the end of the day? Does that make sense? So as you guys know, I use Anchor and it is about to stop recording because it only allows you to do 30 minutes at a time. So I'm going to stop this and start the next one right about now. Yeah, so that's really what it's about. And this one, I promise you, is not going to be much longer. I don't want to make these too long because I've noticed when in not just with my show, but with other podcasts that I've watched, because I've been trying to follow and watch other people and see if I can learn any tips and things from them. And I have one person, I know one person, her podcast is in the morning, and I think it's about like 10 minutes. It's not really like a long drawn out topic. It's more so just like a check in and here's what's happening today kind of thing. I guess maybe I have a lot to say, or maybe my mind, like I said all the time, my mind starts one way and I go somewhere else and end up over here and then come right back. Um, so I'm, like I said, I'm learning. This is a learning progress. I'm new to this. It's been not even a year. It's been January, February, maybe 5 months or so. Me doing this on my own, doing the lives. Like I said before, I was only doing the audios or the online. I wasn't doing the lives, but I feel like the lives are a little bit more personal than just somebody listening to your voice. And also depends on what you're talking about. Like I try to pick topics that A are relevant to now and whatnot. B I've experienced in, so I know what to say, not just random things. And C that kind of can help you as well as give you a better perspective on things from another person's view. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's really it. I just wanted to like certain episodes I've noticed I don't really want to say too much because then it's just like overkill. I feel like if you know when to stop at the right time and leave the right ending, it kind of flows. You know what I mean? But yeah, like what for me, my legacy and it's changed. My whole life, but right now, what I can see myself doing for the rest of my life, or what I want to do and build is the podcast, is my social media accounts, is my music. I want people to hear the music because the music is very healing. Music is very not spiritual, but more so very nurturing for the soul, the mind, the body, and spirit. And I feel that if I can reach 10 people today, that's 10 more people than I had yesterday. That's how I look at it. I may not have um 400 viewers on my Instagram or 500 subscribers or a million likes, but if I can reach, say, 5, 10 people today from my message, that's 5 or 10 more people than I had yesterday. So that's kind of how I look at it. And I'm not one of those people like trying to be, not optimistic, but trying to be like the glass is half full, but more so just, better yet, I'm in the business doing this because I enjoy what I'm doing. Like I enjoy doing the podcast, I enjoy making music, I enjoy playing the saxophone, and that's the joy I bring. So I try to bring that joy in what I'm talking about, the topics I talk about, and with the music. And I feel once I start doing the um, saxophone jam sessions, I think it will be pretty fun, pretty cool. Because I actually, like I said, I only know a little bit so much, but I enjoy doing it. And I feel like when you enjoy doing something, your passion, the smile, the energy, the aura, even if it's virtually, it seeps through the phone and it seeps through the computer, and people, can feel that. They feel that energy. That's what it's all about, the energy, the vibe. But I will say this, the legacy that you leave or the things that you do in your life, whether it be, like I said, music, arts, dance, hospitality, science, whatever you want to call it, if it brings you joy, at the end of the day, if it makes you smile, if if you enjoy picking up that instrument, picking up that mic, picking up that pen, then that's what all it's about. That joy, that self joy, that self happiness, that self love with what you have to do and what you're doing. See what it's all about. Eventually, you'll get the viewers, you'll get the likes, you'll get the follows and things like that. And the money will come in. It's a struggle, but the money will come in. But as long as you're doing something in your life that you enjoy, that's for you, that brings you joy, that helps you grow, helps you build, whether it be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, um, personality wise, like for me, playing saxophone has kind of built up my confidence because I'm pushing myself and I'm not just stopping because it's hard, but I'm pushing myself to get a little bit better each day and each day, and as well as my self confidence when with doing these lives because it helps me with speaking up, looking, having eye contact, kind of being less shy a little bit every day. I'm still am shy, but being less shy a little bit every day. So I see doing these lives, I see doing the podcast and playing the music has helped some way in my life, one way or another. And I feel like if you can do something that can fluctuate that can build you up in some way, that can help you grow in some way, that can make you a better person. That's really what all matters at the end of the day. You know, whatever your message is, whatever your journey is, let it be for you, but also make sure you're having fun along the way. Yeah. So I will leave you with that last bit. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I'm trying my best to keep it under 40 minutes because like I said, I know it's a Thursday. And it's late, not late, but like it's in the evening, it's gross out and things like that. So I'm honing myself in to try to make it under 40 minutes. You know, I can talk for hours and hours. You know how some of my episodes are hour and 40 minutes. But yeah, that is about it. But I hope you guys are going to come rock out with me with the jam session. It's next Friday at 6 p.m. live on Instagram at Lana and Pure, not Lana and Pure's Corner, but live on Lana and Pure and live on YouTube at Lana and Pure. But after that Friday, it will be every Wednesday at 8. So every Wednesday at 8 will be the Sax Jam sessions. And I'll probably do 1 or 2 songs a week. And Thursdays now is Pure Sessions, woohoo, with your girl Lana. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how the feedback is for doing it in the middle of the week. You know, trying, learning. I work with Joe Figurino, who I had on, what was it, with the social media episode with Therapy Without a Degree. He's my coach, branding coach. He helps with social media networking and things like that, and it's been pretty helpful. So I'm trying. I'm learning. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I hope you guys, oh, I forgot to say, I hope you guys had a great Memorial weekend too. I know it was kind of gross, but people still made the best of it from what I've seen and what I've watched. And officially, I didn't think I would ever get to it, but officially, I am on TikTok now. So you guys can follow me on TikTok as well at London Pure. And I'm on Spotify, I'm on Apple, I'm on SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, London Pure. You can find me, as well as I mentioned last week, if I can reach it, I had sorry if I just close up. Sorry. There we go. I had some merch. I still haven't decided if I'm going to stick with the hat or maybe go to a shirt or a sweater, but it's for Pure Sessions. Black hat, purple writing, and a little mic there that says on the air. I think that's pretty cute. But yeah, if you guys enjoy it, if you guys like it, you know, yay, nay, let me know. We can work something out. But like I said, I'm slowly trying to build the brand day by day. You know, I'm only human, you know. But yeah, guys, that is about it. I said I'd be under 40 minutes and it's almost at 38. But yeah, so stay tuned stay tuned for another episode of Pure Sessions with your girl Lana next Thursday at 8 p.m. I was about to say Sunday at 6, but next Thursday, 8 p.m. And jazz sax session Friday, June 11th at 6 p.m. on Lana and Pure's Corner. But going forward after that, it will be every Wednesday at 8. So 8 o'clock for the sax jam sessions on Wednesday and 8 o'clock for Pure Sessions on Thursday. And you can find me, like I said, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Lana and Pure for more episodes. And as well as my music is still bumping and thriving. I've kind of been not all up in the Twitter feed and Facebook and Instagram feeds and my music, but I've been trying to do stuff on a low. So we'll see. Things are coming in store. I'm excited. It's going to be a nice summer. But you can find more info on that in my bio and in my website at lepentertainment.com. All the info is in my bio. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you guys have a great evening and I hope to see you guys with me next Thursday. Have a good night.